Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I'm back with another design team layout for Festive Friday. So this is for the Christmas challenge. So I'm going to read off the list. We had to use at least 3 things from this list for the challenge. So that was ornaments, stars, snow or snowflakes, flocking, a single layer, metallic paper, embossing folder, trees, an interactive element, vintage or retro. So I decided to go with 4 of these things. I was only going to go for 3, but then ended up incorporating a third one accidentally. So I'm starting off with my embossing folder. I have this wood grain embossing folder. I believe I got it from Tuesday mornings. So I really wanted to pull that in. I really neglect my embossing folders. I love how they look. It's just not something I reach for. So I'm really happy I had that on this list so I could pull it out. I decided to just use plain white paper. I am pulling in my Felicity Jane kit. This is the Harper collection, which I have been drooling over and staring at for a week straight without cutting into. I was getting so frustrated because it's so pretty and I just couldn't make myself start. It was ridiculous. But this ombre paper, if you guys watched my unboxing, was my favorite from the start. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to go ahead, pull it out and use it. I had this gorgeous cloud cut file from Redefine Creative that I've been hoarding for a minute. So yeah, I save and I hoard things for when I do Felicity Jane. Like I save all the good things for when I do Felicity Jane layouts. So I figured I've been hoarding and avoiding using this Harper collection for a week, just staring at it and drooling at it. Need to get it used. Might as well get this cloud cut file I've been hoarding used and just like do something. So I adore the way this cloud cut file looks over this ombre background. I think it is so beautiful. So I am going to be scrapbooking this photo from one of our days in Honolulu. So we did go to the Honolulu Zoo and then we hiked Diamond Head Crater, which you can see them both in this photo, which is why I really, really liked it. So this is in front of the Honolulu Zoo and then you can see Diamond Head Crater right behind it. So I thought that was really cool, kind of an introduction to this day's adventures because the pages following this are from the Honolulu Zoo and then from hiking the crater. So I thought this is a nice little intro. I also like that it's one photo I could cut into a 4x4 and really let the page breathe. I love my Felicity Jane layouts to be more minimalistic, more simplistic. I really want this cloud cut file to breathe, so I really already know I want some layery goodness, pretty things right around this photo in one of the corners, and then pretty much let the rest of the page be because it's just pretty. I don't want to cover any of the gorgeousness up, so that's pretty much my plan. I went ahead and pulled out all of the yellow elements that came in this collection and put it aside. I knew once I pulled in this photo and this background, I was going to be focusing more on this teal and this maroon color. So that kind of helped consolidate my embellishment and what I had to work with by pulling out all the yellow. I knew I didn't want to introduce that color. I wanted to focus on these two. So that's why the stash looks a little bit smaller. I already put that stuff aside before I started. I did pull in a journaling card. I really like this two-tone pink journaling spot. Sorry, Billy's scratching if you can hear that. And so I thought it'd be a really nice small layer. I really put myself in a box on this one because I could not make myself cut into more papers because they're just so pretty and I want to use all of them as 12x12s, but obviously you have to have some papers to layer with. So you saw me cut into that teal grid paper that was a 12x12. I was looking at all of them and I was like, right, I can't use all of them as 12x12s. I need to use some of these with the other papers. So this grid paper, I love the color of it, but the grid is very small scale, so I didn't figure I would use that as a full 12x12, so I did cut into that one. I think that'll be really nice for layering. So yeah, I matted the photo in that, and then I matted it in my embossed folder, the white wood grain, and from there I'm just building out. So you saw me use a journaling card. I did pull in some gold metallic paper. That was one of the recipe pieces and used a scallop border punch to branch off of that. There's beautiful gold puffy stickers as the alphas for this collection, so I knew I wanted to pull those in. And with the metallic paper being on the recipe, I thought it would just make sense to bring in some gold foiled paper just to balance the gold I knew I would bring in with the alphas anyways. So you saw me pull that in. Of course, it's Felicity Jane, so I always like incorporating doilies and in glassine bags. So once I started pulling those into layer, I figured I could throw a tag in the glassine bag for my journaling. I know I want journaling on these pages, but to be honest, Felicity Jane pages are so pretty and my handwriting is not so much. So I decided one of the recipe elements was an interactive element. I don't usually do this. I've mentioned it before. I don't like people to have to take my layout out or reach their hands in to move or get all the information. I like for them to just be able to see it. But for this instance, I decided I was going to do some hidden journaling. So you'll see that in a minute. I do have this star tag. I think it's a DIY shop tag. I'm not quite sure. I did throw some golden white twine on it and tucked it into that glassine bag right behind the photo. So I will do journaling on that. So that is another element from the recipe I decided to do. I really like how the bottom's coming along. I wasn't going to do anything in the upper right hand corner, but then I really wanted to get one of these chipboard tags that come in the collection used up. So I was like, you know what, I'll just do a little something up there. I'm glad I did. I usually do like to do this when I do, this is really one of my go-to designs. I love layouts like this where there's a bunch of little clustery things around the photo in one corner of the page and then a little something small on the opposite side just to balance a little bit. So again, I pulled in that gold metallic paper that I did a scallop border punch on. I pulled in one of the chipboard tags and one of the ephemera pieces. And then here, that what you see here, this little scallopy piece is actually from the packaging. I told you guys when I did the unboxing I was going to use that, so I did pull that in as well just to get a little bit of the maroon up in that corner. So I really like how that's looking. And then again, with the stamps, you guys know I'm a wimp. I mention this every time I have to do stamping. I'm a wimp. I admit it. So I decided I was just going to stamp on this little ephemera piece. I thought about stamping on the background, but like, I can't. I can't, not on this beautiful ombre. I just couldn't. So I did take one of the stamps. There is a stamp that says "Today I'm Grateful For." So I did take the washi, my washi tape to cover up the 4 so it reads "Today I'm Grateful." So after I inked the stamp, I pulled the washi off that covered up the word 4 so that wasn't inked and stamped it on the ephemera piece. So it just says "Today I am grateful." So I like that. It was a little too long with the 4 and I really didn't need it for that sentiment. But I wanted something in that banner because clearly it was an open spot for something. And I didn't feel like looking up the date. I know I have other papers from this day dated that this photo will be with. So, and I needed to use the stamp on something. I'm really going to try hard to use that stamp on almost every, if not every page I do with this collection. So I've said it, I've committed. You guys have to hold me accountable. I took that tag out, flipped it over, and now you can see me just drawing some lines. I'm using my Stampin' Right pen. This is in the color Basic Black. It does have gray tips on it. I pulled it out because I thought it was gray, but it is black. If I would have read the title, I would have known that, but I like it. It really doesn't matter. It's hidden journaling, so no one's going to be able to see it anyways. But that just reads... we have a full day of adventures in Honolulu. Today we started with the Honolulu Zoo and then hiked to the top of Diamond Head Crater. I love this photo of both locations. So just simple and sweet. That kind of just explains what the photo is. But I'm going to tuck that in the glassine bag. You can see the hodgepodge of scraps as I flip this over, but I'm going to go ahead and get all of this glued down. I really like how it looks in that bottom left-hand corner, so I'm pretty much just going to put it where I had it, and then you see this ephemera piece to the right that says "My Crazy Beautiful Life." I do want to use that as part of my title. So that's going to go in that corner. And then I had a scrap of a doily hanging around from a previous page. Excuse me. So I decided I might as well just tuck it in there. I love the way doily looks with Felicity Jane stuff. And then here are the alphas that come in this collection. So I decided to just put love, pulls that gold in somewhere else, and then now the whole title reads "Love My Crazy Beautiful Life." So I thought that was appropriate. It was bothering me having the long maroon scallop in the upper right hand corner, above the shorter pieces. I like my shelves to look like the longest pieces on the bottom and then everything sitting on top of that long shelf. So I did move the maroon scallop down beneath the gold one. I think that looks better and a little bit more balanced. And then there's this really cute little blue bow in the ephemera piece I happened to see, and I really thought it would be a nice balance to my visual triangle. I have that little blue ephemera piece in the upper right hand corner. I have the title, that's that same navy blue. So I figured having this bow next to the tag would be a nice little visual triangle with the teal. So pop that up on some foam. That's going to go in front of the tag. I did pull in some of the cute little gold puffy hearts that come on the alphas and put 2 of them up in the upper right hand corner. And then I had to pull in some of these epoxy hearts that come on this sheet. I thought about doing the gold hearts in all 3 places, but I don't know why. I really just felt like I wanted some colored hearts, so these epoxy hearts were perfect. So I'm trying to layer in with more ephemera pieces, but I really just go in with 2 tones of these epoxy hearts. I did a 2-tone pink up by that bow and a blue and a pink down by the love. So I really like that there's 2 hearts in every area. But yeah, those are the close-ups. I love how this turned out. I ended up using metallic paper, an embossing folder, interactive piece, and stars, which were on that tag. But here are the close-ups. I will link Festive Fridays in the description if you guys want to enter the challenges. Everything will be on their website. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.